Hi, everyone. Welcome back. This is part 2 of a 2-part recap. If you're wondering where part 1 was, well, go check in the feed and be sure to subscribe so that way you always get your episodes. But enough of that. Let's get right back into the episode. Big Bear Babes backing up the car. Tamara's like, who needs men, am I right? So Kate, they're getting in there into the truck, and Katie's like, wow, I've never been to Big Bear. I'm so excited. Where the golf course is. You never been? She's like, no, I've been to Mammoth, the more high-end version of a mountain community.
I know. I love that slam.
Yeah. I've actually never been to Mammoth, but I do hear it is the fancier version.
I'm not fancy enough to go to Mammoth, but I like that. She's like,
fancy.
you never been to Big Bear? No, I've been to Mammoth.
So Tamara's like, Jen, we're going to get you on OnlyFans. She doesn't have any money right now. And Jen's like, yeah, well, a girl's got to do whatever girl's got to do. What's OnlyFans?
So then Heather and Shannon are dancing around in the back seat of their car. And Heather's like, I'm usually sat next to Gina, but I'm okay with a little bit of separation today. I leaked pizza cheese on top of a very expensive purse with that woman. For her to treat me like this, unforgivable.
She goes, as a matter of fact, I wish they had that thing in the car that goes up the separator. Brrr. I mean, I thought that was standard in all vehicles, at least the ones that I drive in.
So then they go to Shannon's car goes to fast food at Jack in the Box. And they're like, what do you want? And Shannon's like, can I see the menu? And they're like, they don't have a menu, Shannon. Well, I'm going to get out and look. Look at me dust busting the Jack in the Box menu. Hey, Jack in the Box, can you hear me? Yes, ma'am, we can hear. Just can you tell your manager, Shannon Bedore is back.
And by the way, if a big boob Jesus slut comes by and starts calling you Jackie J, just ignore her. Deny service.
So it's a wacky scene at the Jack in the Box. And Shannon goes, oh, God, this is mushy. She's having a taco. She goes, it's supposed to be mushy. It's nothing like it in the world. I don't even know if it's meat. But I love it.
Yeah. She is like, she becomes so entranced by the taco that she forgets about her Happy Shannon persona. She's like, oh, I'm wild and wacky. Top of the morning to you, Jack in the Box. This is so fun. I'm just going to have this taco. It's just a few extra calories out of my daily amount. And it's so transfixing. It's soft. It's texture. It's mushy. It's not natural. There's chemicals and preservatives, things I shouldn't put into my body. I need to have all of it right now.
Yeah, it's like a world of sin. This is like her, what do they call it when the Amish kids go out? Oh, it's like her rumspringa. It's like, I don't even know if I'm ever going to go back. Heather doesn't know anything about this place, of course, so she Googles it, and she's like, the most popular item at Jack in the Box is a taco.
Is this where Gina lives, the box? So,
I didn't know that was the most popular item at Jack in the Box. A taco?
Either. I have not been to Jack in the Box since 1990 because I went there on a family. We went on a family vacation to Arizona, and we didn't. There's no Jack in the Boxes in New York, and I hadn't ever heard of it. And I was like, oh my god, it's a fast food place, but you can get spring rolls. It was I don't know if they still have spring rolls, but at the time they had spring rolls, and that was literally that rocked my world. And so I love Jack in the Box. And then like a month later, they had some horrific E. coli situation, and I haven't been back.
Who hasn't? People deserve a break.
I think I'm ready to bring Jack in the Box back to my life. Maybe, you know what? Maybe I'll get Jack in the Box on the way to Palm Springs today.
Oh, that would be fun. Well, I don't eat meat these days, so I can't really eat there because I don't have very many vegetarian options, which is just insane. Just insane. It's offensive.
They do have a very lovely taco that just all it wants to do is love me, and I just want to love it back. For once, someone who sees me for me. The Jack in the Box taco.
Hey, guess what? I just read in a comment because I'm being professional reading Instagram comments.
What happened?
Someone said, just heard a promo for Andy Cohen live during the Jeff Lewis show on Sirius. they used a clip of Ronnie and Ben's recent appearance. It was when they were impersonating Andy. Oh my God. We made it into a promo clip of something. That's so exciting. God.
I want to thank the Academy, and I want to thank Jack in the Box. That's so cool.
Yeah. Okay, I'll put my phone down now. Sorry, everybody. Okay, so back to Big Bear Babes. Alexis is like, I told Johnny I didn't know, like, what I was looking for until I found you, because, like, I didn't even know that you could exist. Like, you're just so amazing. Johnny J. I mean, my God, what an amazing human being, you guys. Hey, guys, you know those little trees that you hang around your mirror in a car that, like, hide the smell of Bellino fart, like Jim Bellino fart? That's what Johnny J smelled. That's what his breath smells like. I was like, you were born to be my man. You are a prince.
30 minutes later.
Oh my God. Going on. A player's only a player until he meets the right person. Guys, he was a player, but he met the right person. He's a good Christian
45
boy,
minutes
guys.
later.
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you what a good Christian he is. We went to 2 churches, and they were Christian churches. We went to one Christian church on Christmas Eve and another church on Christmas Eve because we both had different Christian churches.
45 minutes later.
Jesus was just a player, really, until he found the right person. I mean, really. I mean, look at all those people Jesus fucked.
She's going on and on and on. And she's like, there are so many lies that have been spoken about John that are just like not true, and like they're gonna be cleared up, and like I'll bring it all. So bitch, better step back. She keeps laughing at everything she says, and also
she is so crazy and manic and stalking Shannon. She is a stalker. What is wrong with this lady? And Shannon, you see the look on Tamara's face. Well, everybody's like, this bimbo is insufferable, right? She's
and we can see in the background, by the way, through the windows, we can see the terrain. And when you do drive up to Big Bear, there's very specific terrain you go through. And we can see, just based on the terrain, that Alexis has been talking nonstop for at least an hour about this topic. Like, we see they're down by like the 10, and then they're driving up the mountain.
It starts with ocean behind them, and then the air starts to thin. And then by the time they get there, it's like snow out the window. It's like,
yeah, Johnny J, like we just go to like church, like we go to 2 different churches and we just pray. We pray that other people can have a relationship like we do, because our relationship is like so good, and you guys will all know the truth about it very soon.
Yeah, you guys are super Christian-y, like coming up with ways to get on podcasts to slander somebody and sue them, and then take videos of them while they're drunk to use against them later. You guys are super, super Jesus-y. He's so lucky to have you, really.
Katie's like, I feel like I'm getting to know John a little bit more than I'm getting to know Alexis, which is reverse golf clap for that, I suppose. And Jen is like, it's like information overload, like Johnny J. Okay, it's a lot. And, I'm married to someone who wears horrific shirts. I'm used to a lot, but this is a lot.
If I had $1 for every time she said Johnny J, I could pay my back rent.
I can afford this Rolex.
And Tamara's like,
don't you get a headache from talking so much, bitch? I mean, with all the John J talk, I was tempted to push Alexis out of my car.
And it's so funny because this is what you wrought. So have fun with this. This is your karma you're driving next to.
Yeah. So they all get to Tamara's place, and they look around and everything. And Katie feels like Tamara gave her the best room because she's like, I'm new and I wanted to have my own space. And Tamara's like, no, it's because Jen doesn't talk and Alexis doesn't shut the fuck up. So they would just balance each other out. Plus, there's no plus. That's it.
There's really no plus in this situation. We're a Big Bear. So she got them all bear costumes to wear.
By the way, she also says, when we bought this house, it had not been remodeled since the 80s, which is funny because I think you could say that probably about Tamara's wardrobe, but
But then we see the house, shots of the house. How is this any better than the 80s? It's so confusing. It's so bad. It's so bad. And I know that mountain life has its own style, but this is not that either. This is just bad style. It's ugly.
At first, I liked it.
It's like poorly fonted word art everywhere. Yes. It's just hideous. It's bad, fake Ashley furniture leather. Like, just, by the way, I'm the owner of some of that, so everybody stop, just unclutch your fucking pearls. You know what I mean? And then the kitchen is just such a typical, standard new kitchen. It's like fake marble, waterfall, modern farmhouse in the middle of this mountain house. It makes no sense. It's just so bad. Oh.
I actually liked the remodel at first, but then I started to notice that all the furniture was brown. And I was like, I'm going to have a problem with this. So, and then they're like, hey, Tamara, Tamara, there's something going on over here. This is like a little scary. And there's like a full on puddle in the middle of the dining room because the house is leaking.
Yeah, they're like, something's leaking. She's looking down at her boobs like,
How many times do I have to fix this?
like, no, damn it. It's above us.
Oh, sorry, bitch. God damn it.
And they're like, Tamara, are you sure you did this all yourself? Wow, this whole house you did by yourself? Nothing screams, I did this by myself like this house. And then it immediately starts leaking on their heads. Loved it.
So meanwhile, over in La Quinta, they arrive at this huge house, and there is Elizabeth Vargas and her Bentley. That's
Gina, welcome to your house, Gina. It's your house now. It's not just my house. It's a house for the people, Gina. Welcome. I couldn't be happier to welcome you to my house. Unbelievable, undeniable, unthinkable. Gina.
It's got a kitchen and a dining room and a bathroom for two. It's got a living room and a den and something for you. Everyone has fun at Elizabeth Vargas' house, so come on in and sit on the couch. It's welcome to my house. It's unbelievable, undeniable, irrepressible, unexpressive.
Have so much fun throwing the kitchen sink and maybe you'd enjoy it all wearing pink. Am I right, ladies? Come have a good time. A good time at Vargas's. Somewhere the rainbow. How's this salmon? How is it? Is it good? It's my recipe.
'Cause we're all going to La Quinta, home of all the dreams. I want to be in La Quinta. I want to be in La Quinta.
OKLAHOMA, Oklahoma. Who goes there? Am I right? It's a $9 million house. Enjoy, ladies. Enjoy.
So, Gina, people who never listened to that season of our recaps are probably very confused right now.
What the hell? Elizabeth Vargas mentioned, like, part of her backstory was so nuts. I can't believe she didn't get another shot just because of her backstory being so crazy. I think it's because she was kind of a pathological liar, which is why they were like, well, if literally everything you say is a lie, we can't have you on the show, you know? But because they had her and Noella, right? Weren't they on the same season?
No, Noella was the following season.
Okay. A lot of pathological liars on the show. Anyway, they had her, and first, one of her things was being in a cult, which was sad, but also so fascinating, you know, being raised in a cult and escaping it, like having to like run away and escape the cult. And then the other big thing was that she was working in a dinner theater and met her husband. He was like an audience. She was doing a cabaret or something.
Yeah.
And that's how she met her billionaire husband. And so we've just always loved, and she does talk like this. She just says kind of like
she's a musical.
Yeah, she keeps
I think she did say like unbelievable, undeniable at one point.
She did. She said undeniable, unbelievable,
undetectable.
Yeah, it was something like that. It was some 5-syllable thing that she was saying. Oh my God, so good. Anyway, she deserved another chance. And she's trying on this one. She's like, look, I'm even going to give Gina a $9 million home to sell. And they still won't let her on the show. She's like, hey, guys, you want to have a wacky scene? They're like, please stand over there.
Okay, I know. They should let her stay for this girls' night,
yeah,
you know?
Not?
So, surprise Elizabeth Vargas cameo on this week's episode. So, then Heather's like, oh, wow, I love this little servant's quarters you have. Now, where's the rest of the house? This is the rest of the house. It's an $8 million estate. Oh, this is it. Okay. Well, that's cute. This is a cute little house.
This is the nicest closet I've ever seen outside of Orange County.
I love this bungalow. It's just so cute.
So they go outside.
Drake? Is he next door also? No? Okay.
Sorry, is there a Chris Brown in this neighborhood? Maybe we can brag about.
How about Kendrick Lamar's?
So Gina's like,
Oh my God, you guys, look at this little lake thing. This is worth the price of admission right here.
and Elizabeth's like, oh, the koi is starving. Am I right, girls? Oh my God, it's so difficult having hungry koi, man, river.
Do we feed them ragu? And Shannon goes, wait, koi. Is that a fish? Is that a fish? It's a fish. Do we put salmon in it? And Emma's like, yes, koi fish. Shannon's like, how many koi fish do you have? I have an allergy to koi fish, and when they jump out of the water, their allergens can become airborne. So it's just very important for me that I keep a safe distance from these fish. Thank you very much.
They're called koi because it's an acronym. It's Killers of Intelligent Ladies. Never trust them. Coils used to be called.
I'm very concerned about the fish. So now we go back up to the Big Bear Babes.
Well, I love it. I'm sorry, but I have to mention this because Elizabeth goes, well, there's supposed to be 500. You've got 500 koi? That's a bit much.
Yeah, it's a sold-out house.
Listen, when I come out here and sing Liza's Best, I want to make sure I've got a crowd. Know what I'm saying? They're good fish. Just starve them a little. They just start jumping out of the water. They hear any human coming. It sounds like applause.
Being alive.
See, look at that.
Here's to the koi who lunch.
Somebody hold me too close. Okay, well, that was a koi in my face. I really should feed these koi. Took the gum right out of my mouth.
Did someone put a koi in this chair? It was just a lyric. Someone drew shit in my chair.
Is that a koi in your pocket, or you just happy to see me? Well, it is a koi in my pocket. Oh, my God.
Hey, there's a koi. There's a koi fish.
Oh, God. Excuse me, everyone. There is a koi fish stuck in my dustbuster. I just need to go service this one moment.
High and koi, being a girl. All right, let's get on with this, ladies. So we go back to the Big Bear Babes, and Jen is putting on
moon boots.
They're putting on moon boots, and Jen's like,
I think my boots are 2 left feet. Which, listen, they're free, so I'm not going to kick them off my feet. But still, they're supposed to be like this.
Jen was like, moon boots don't have a foot. They're both the same. Kitty goes, yeah, they're just kind of universal, which is sort of a fun pun if you think about it.
They're the USB. They're the USB plug of shoes.
Yeah, the EU said that all moon boots just have to be the same, and so now we all have this. Unfortunately, every time I put on my moon boots, it says, this moon boot uses cookies. Do you accept?
Funny that they could do that, but Apple can charge everybody 30% for using products through their phone. I'm not really sure how that one's fair, but no one on this podcast is bitter about it, so let's just move on.
Jen, you are wearing your moon boot on your head. It's supposed to be for your foot. Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I was just trying to be more grounded.
Thank you. This moon boot is broken. It's not telling the time. So.
Is that a Rolex moon boot?
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial.
They're going
They'll go
tubing.
tubing.
Yeah. And Alexis is trying to be fun, hilarious. She's like, I'm so excited to go inner tubing because I'm fun, Lexi. We're going to play in the snow. Like, let's go have some fun, right, ladies? I'm going to go down every hill because light, laugh, and don't eat yellow snow.
And then Alexis just takes off on the tube down this very sad, snowy slope. And then they're like almost mad at her that she did it. I feel like Tamara had like some opening gag she wanted to do. So Tamara's like, this one's a shit show. And Jen's like, yeah, she's like, do I really talk too much? And I'm like, well, maybe a bit. Which from Jen, that's like the equivalent of Jen being like, she's a fucking bitch.
Yeah, no kidding. And Tamara's like,
Yeah, just a tiny bit, just a little bit.
So now they all do it. It's so fun, guys. There's a lot of wooing. Just my favorite thing. Woo, 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 woo. This was one of those scenes where I could not tell anybody apart because they're just all white blonde ladies. Like really,
Except for Katie.
Right, but like most of the ladies, I was like, "Who is that? That was Alexis that won." How is Alexis?
There's a lot of blonde hair
talking about
breeze.
Alexis on top of the mountain? I really had some confusion. They really need to
like,
change
wait,
it up.
How did she get to the top of the mountain so quickly? I thought she just went down the tube. Oh wait, that's Tamara.
Yeah,
that's Tamara. So now over in La Quinta, Gina is trying to light things, and Elizabeth's like, "Oh, do you want me to do that? I'm a little scared that you're going to catch yourself on fire. Oh, what a feeling. Keep believing." That's from Donna the musical. Thank you very much.
Fires are hard, am I right, ladies? Hey, you guys actually packed pretty light today. How long are you staying? One day. Oh, maybe it's not that light after all.
So they're all lighting. They're trying to light the little grill. Heather's like, "Oh, you know me, Heather Dubrow, I can be a rugged person. I was on Malibu Country, so I did learn some country things. Like, for instance, did you know you're supposed to put charcoal in a grill? Look at me doing it right now, without a care in the world. I'm rich, but I'm relatable."
Thank you so much for letting us stay here. Honestly, Sheena needed to get a little getaway.
And Elizabeth goes, "Is she okay? She looks tired. She looks like she's going through a lot." What did she say? I think she said she looks like she's going through a lot. Who says that?
Then it cuts to Shannon trying to put things away in the cupboard. Shannon's like having a breakdown in the kitchen. She's like dropping spoons and everything. "Oh, I'm just gonna put a spoon into a jar with other spoons and nothing can go wrong. Oh my God, it fell on the ground. Oh God, where's the dustbuster when you need it? I've been exposed to koi."
Yeah, she says, "I'm glad she's here. She looks like she needs a break." Cut to Shannon.
Wow, I'm juggling spoons. I didn't even know I could juggle. Ah, got it in my eye. Okay. Should have knocked on wood before I said that one.
"Well, don't let him burn down the house. I'm going to exit stage left now." "No, I won't. Don't worry about that." "Memories in La Quinta at sunset. Don't spill things on my newly station."
Elizabeth, you got a flying tire in your house. I don't want to be blamed for that.
It's on purpose. It's on purpose.
Yeah. It's on fire. No, it's just dry ice. Just gives a smoke effect. Going up to cat heaven now.
I'm a dead cat. Just go with it.
Could you bring some koi with you too? We need to thin out this pond.
No, but hold on. Watch this. Bread. Thank you, Koi. Thank you. Be here all week. Okay, so someone bought them pink shirts. I guess Gina. She got pink sweaters for everybody. It says "Girls Trip" because it's fucking Gina. So what else would they say? It's like the most basic word art shirt ever. Like the most descriptive.
Girls Trip. I want to get a shirt for a girls trip. This is Girls Trip.
So they put on these girls trip shirts, sweatshirts and stuff. And then now they're making drinks and everything. And Heather knocks over her shaker and spills everywhere. And Gina's like having a heart attack because they're trying to keep this place clean because it's staged. And Gina's like, "Oh my God, not the rug." And Emily's like, "Well, at least it's not Shane's truck."
Marriage, am I right?
So Heather's like, "Wait a second. Hold on. I've seen the workers do this. 1 second. Hand me the towel of paper. Thank you." "Okay." And she's like, gets down, starts dabbing the stains.
Does anybody have a mattress? Get me a mattress.
Too heavy, Heather.
All right.
Is that
a
grill-
small child? Is there a small child we could wipe across the floor?
"Is the grill warmed up? We have to burn this thing."
Bring in the charcoal.
"We're going to rub charcoal."
Okay, so she cleans it, and then Heather's like, "Oh, everyone just calm down. Look at me, Cinderella on vacation." And Gina's like, "Oh, she's just trying to get me back. This is Heather revenge." I'm like, "No, Heather lives in her revenge."
Yes. Heather's revenge is looking at your outfit and saying, "You know what? I don't have to do anything else." So then
Heather's revenge is the 20 she left under your pillow.
Hey, you left me $20.
Didn't you lose a tooth that the tooth fairy is trying to help you out with, Gina?
So Heather, yeah. So by the way, Heather and Elizabeth Vargas together really would have a good Black Swan situation because they both were really into like, you know, making it big on Broadway someday, you know.
But who's the real one? That's the real question. Ain't nobody here but us seconds. Ain't nobody here but us. Ow! Sorry, stabbed you. Me. Stabbed me, you. What's it? What's it? Who
I
am
resemble Barbara Hershey more. I'm the real one. Barbara Hershey chooses me. Me. I'm her favorite.
Barbara Hershey chooses me. Beaches. If I had my way, that show would have just called Beats. Barbara Hershey. What a stupid bitch.
That does remind me, everyone, I will be doing a one-woman show of beaches on the HGTV network, so please tune in. It's going to be a 3 hanky special.
Okay, so then Heather gets it cleaned up, and then Emily drops a drink all over the floor. And so all the ladies are cracking up.
It was pretty fun. I mean, I was laughing because I did not feel like this was a staged moment. They just kept on spilling stuff, and Gina's losing her mind.
And so Gina's like, why did I think this was a good idea to bring these ladies to an open house? It wasn't. You're just too booked to do anything else. Idea. Like, yeah, was there no like skee ball place open? You didn't have to do this to Elizabeth. How are you ever going to get listings on this show? First, you talk about how you don't do credit checks for friends. Yes. Then you blast someone's personal financial information all over national TV. And now you show what you do with houses that you're listing. You fucking party in them and spill shit all over them. You are terrible at this.
So now Emily's cleaning up her spill, which is this is a terrible spill. It's like on the cabinets and everything. And then Shannon picks up a cutting board and goes, is this mold? I think there's mold on this cutting board. This, by the way, let's call it out for what it is. This plastic IKEA cutting board. We're in an $8 million home, and the cutting boards are plastic IKEA cutting boards for 35 cents, and they're moldy too. I'd like to point that out.
It says $8 million mold, girls. By the time we leave, it's going to be like 3.5. I'm not going to have any commission left, okay?
So the Big Bear Babes, now the ladies are wearing cowboy hats and they're making drinks. And Alexis is late because she couldn't find her hairspray. And she comes downstairs. So Tamara's wearing like a top with like sheer sleeves. And Alexis is wearing a top with no sleeves. And Tamara's like, oh my God, you're going to freeze your ass off. I'm like, yeah, those sheer sleeves, they really make the difference.
Yeah, Alexis is like, I'm wearing a bikini top. It's what Jesus would do. So she's walking around. She's like, I need a consensus from the ladies. So ladies. And she just keeps walking right past the ladies. And they're like, hello.
Hold on. Oh, guys, let me call Johnny J real quick. Let me call John. Okay, hold on. Okay. Hi, how are you? Oh my gosh, I've been waiting to hear your voice all day. How are you feeling? And he's like, kind of tired, which is standard.
Yeah, who wouldn't be addicted to that voice?
It's pretty on brand for how he was for the past 3 years.
The smooth, silky sounds of Johnny J. Tired.
Alexis is sitting there. She's tossing her hair, laughing, being all coy. She's, well, it's gonna be miserable tonight not sleeping without me there, huh?
And they're like, gross. Because she's doing it. All the ladies are standing around waiting to go. And Alexa's sitting there, like, being the center of attention. Like, look at me. I have a boyfriend named Johnny J. Oh, my God. It's crazy. Do you want to have sex with me, right? Don't you wish we were having sex, Johnny J? Hey, if it was me and you, I would only be wearing these tiny little heels. And she swings up her legs to the phone. She's like, yeah, see? I would only be wearing heels, Johnny J. She starts laughing like that. It's so cringe. It is.
If I'm gonna have a conversation with my boyfriend, I will. Okay. Guess what? I love Jack in the Box now. I just suddenly decided I love Jack in the Box, specifically their soft tacos. So if anyone else were to like it, they're definitely copying me. Okay, Johnny J.
It's just so sad. It's just so cringy and sad. But you know what? It's like American Idol. When they're still auditioning and they're purposely putting awful people in there for you to cringe at, because she's flailing around trying so hard to just get the show, and it's just she's failing. That's a no. That's a no for me, dog.
So Tamara gets on to FaceTime. She's like, hey, it's nice to see you, John. You look lean. You look ripped. And she's like, yeah, John looks happy. He looks like a weight's been lifted off his shoulders. About 150 pounds of it, bitch.
Oh, you're hilarious. But It's also so Tamara. This is such a Tamara compliment. She's like,
Hey, Johnny J, I really love to see you. You know, I always liked you, Johnny J. You know who really likes you? Eddie. Eddie likes you.
who cares what fucking Eddie likes, okay? Eddie also likes bologna straight out of the package and like fucking protein powder snorted up his nose. Like, who cares? Eddie's not a bastion of taste. He married you.
John Jansen and Eddie, that's what you call a crackling conversation. That's what you call banter that never ends. That's what you call high energy chatter.
So Alexis keeps this up for a while and everybody's really sick of it. And so then it's time to go back to the La Quinta ladies. So they're getting drunky and Gina's like, so what are we supposed to do with these hot dogs? And nobody knows how to cook a hot dog. And Heather's like, and then Gina goes, I mean, when they're done, they split naturally, right? Is that how they're done? And Heather goes, are you seriously asking me? It was your plot point when you said you liked hot dogs, remember? It's not a plot point.
I prefer them not to be split down the middle. I feel like they travel through the air a little bit faster when I'm throwing them at my servants.
It's the same reason you fold an paper airplane in the middle. They really just need to go with the wind.
It's physics, really, if you think about it.
She's like, well, she said she likes damn hot dogs. I mean, what do you want from me? So then Shannon goes outside with Emily. So she's like,
Well, I just wanted to say that what are you laughing about, Ben?
Why the fuck did they stop the whole show to have Heather say, I thought she liked hot dogs. What do you want from me? Why would she stop the show to include that?
Because it's a typical Heather thing. She had that whole thing where she was like, I love hot dogs. I love hot dogs so much, you guys. They are just so, look at me eating this hot. Delicious. Like, Heather never eats a goddamn hot. It's like when Erica and Rinna on Beverly Hills were like,
yes.
Oh my God, hot dogs. I'm amazed with hot dogs. Or Paige DeSorbo on Summer House. All the like tiny little ladies would never eat a hot dog on this show. Always have an episode where they exclaim how much they love hot dogs. And it turns out Heather was lying that whole time. She just can't stay in character.
I just like Gina to be like, what do you want from me? So Shannon's like, oh, Emily, I'm so glad that we are sitting here and we are having a good time. One thing me as Shannon Medore, what I hate is when a good time turns to crying and sadness. That's something I absolutely do not like. So, listen. Along those lines of keeping it happy and keeping it upbeat and not causing drama whatsoever and keeping smiles on our faces because there's nothing to cry about in life. I saw Katie and Gina the other day after dinner and we went shopping and Katie and Gina were saying that they thought you were upset and angry, mainly because they think that you're an angry and awful person. Mainly Gina was saying that Gina says you're a bad friend. Gina's wondering if maybe you're getting too close to Tamara. Maybe your friendship isn't real. And I don't know. This seems to be a lot of Gina's problems if you ask me.
God, I would never talk about anybody. Yeah, this is terrible. I would never talk about anybody. Gina hates you, wishes you were dead, and she wiped Twizzlers all over the truck and then signed Emily below each stain. So I hope that doesn't cause any problems.
I believe she said that you are so far up Tamara's ass that you're becoming more aggressive as you hang out with Tamara, and your face now smells like her poop. So it sounds like the smart toilet is you right now because you are a lawyer.
Someone plug you in. All right.
Anyway, I'm so glad that we can have a fun time here. Right?
Ooh, this is going to be fun. Wow.
So Emily's like, I feel so betrayed by Gina. I mean, first of all, calling me mean and aggressive. I've always been mean and aggressive. Hello, welcome to Earth.
Well, she said it. Can't be mad at her. Secondly, you've known me for 6 years. If we're supposed to be best friends, why are you telling everyone else? I'm pissed at her. Heather's pissed at her. She dug her own grave.
Oh, well, we should go finish dinner now. Surely they figured out how to make a hot dog by now. It's fun. God, I love us girls just having fun together.
My heart rate's about 8,000 right now.
Well, what are you taking? Do you have any to share? I would love that. Oh, God.
Are you also having an allergic reaction to the koi? Yes. So Gina's like, they're all cleaning and cooking and cleaning. And Gina's like, oh my God, I can't believe like women just used to do this shit like every single day. I'm like, there are still probably a lot of people who do this shit every single day. I'm just so glad that we don't have to do that. Like, this was like every day they would do this. And she looks at Emily, and Emily's just staring daggers at her. She's like, something wrong? Is something wrong? Is something wrong? Is something wrong? Is something wrong? Nothing's wrong.
No, nothing. They just keep doing it. She's going to wait for her moment. So Shannon's like, wow, I did not know there was going to be this level of emotion. I just hate it. I just hate talking behind people's back. If you have an issue, you should just bring it up. But let me tell you the truth. I mean, if dinner theater's going to leave the house, someone's got to entertain me. You can't turn on the TV during dinner, and I do not want the sounds of me smacking down a hot dog reverberating through television.
I just want Gina and Emily to be okay. They have an amazing friendship that fives of people enjoy out there in America, and we just wouldn't want to destroy that for people.
So Gina's trying to be excited about the hot dogs, but the energy is definitely killed now in this room, right? Like, everyone feels it. Emily is a brat, and she's sitting there crossing her arms, giving shitty face. And so she's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? She goes, I'm just hungry. I haven't eaten anything. That's fine. I can't even eat. It's your fault. It's not that I pay $1,000 for a medication. It's you, Gina. It's you. It's like, well, shit. Gina, if being friends with Gina made you not hungry, I'd call her up.
By the way, I'm really concerned for what the kids are eating in Gina's house, because she comes back from the grill with like 2 hot dogs. She goes, oh my God, we made hot dogs. She's acting like she just made beef bourguignon. Like, these things are pre-cooked. All you have to do is heat them up and get a little char on them. They're literally the easiest thing. And she's acting like this is a marvel for her.
Yeah. Don't you remember when she cooked spaghetti sauce? Like, I don't know. I don't know why you have any hope.
Like, if this is the reach, if making hot dogs is the reach for her, what is she making daily for her poor family?
Yeah. So then they sit down to eat, and we're in Big Bear now. So they're sitting down to eat at some Italian restaurant. And Katie's like, oh my God, I'm getting the Asian flesh because I had, I can't have anything with sugar. I'll get the Asian flesh. And they're like, what's an Asian flesh? And she's like, you've never heard of it? So she explains it to them.
Even Alexis has heard of this. How does Tamara is over 50 and has never even heard of this. This really speaks to Tamara and like just how like white her friend group is. How is she how has she never even heard about this concept ever before in her life?
Well, it's Real Housewives of Orange County. I was just like, oh no, my God. Clearly. Yeah.
So why do Asian people have to flush differently than everybody else? You press a fucking button. Jesus.
It's shocking. So Katie's like, well, historically Asian people can't break down enzymes of alcohol in our liver, and I have to take Pepsid AC before I drink, and I think that really helps neutralize the alcohol. And Tamara's like, wow, like her mind is blown by this concept.
Enzymes. Someone Google that for me.
What's an enzyme?
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
Back with the other ladies are having hot dogs, and Gina's like, seriously? This is one of the best hot dogs I've ever had.
She's really impressed by these hot dogs, just by the fact that they were made, the fact how they taste. She's really going through something right now in a positive way.
So awkward because Emily is just like refusing to talk to her. So she's like, did you lose some steam, Emily? And Emily's like, no, I've got steam. And Gina's like, well,
play on words.
I got steam heat. I got steam heat. I got steam heat. But I need your love to keep away the cold. I got. Get out of here, Elizabeth. Jesus Christ. All right.
Into the woods we go. Into the woods we go. I'm the Broadway person here. So yeah, she.
I laughed so hard I sucked some spit down.
Oh, I thought you were doing a Heather Dubrow reaction. By the way, you know what's also funny is that when Gina says these are seriously one of the best hot dogs I've ever had, Heather goes, "It's a good grill."
It's a grill. It's the grill.
It's a good grill.
It's the tiny grill.
I know. I'm very used to these sort of poor people toys. I can say with authority, this is a good grill. Just a standard Weber grill.
I mean, we could have used the original grill that I bought. Heather, that was gold braces off of one of your maids.
Well,
Flashback to 2 days ago, Heather walking into Nobu. Do you sell grills here? Nobu editions?
Okay, so then finally Emily breaks her silence. So we're all dying to hear Emily and Gina's latest attempt to get some screen time. So Emily's like, the night you had your dinner, I was aggressive towards Jen. But before that night, you said I'm mean, that I've changed, and you don't even recognize who I am. She goes,
I never said that. I never said that, Shannon.
No, she did. She did not say that. I'm sorry. I'm losing my voice. Between the Jack in the Box and the koi fish, this is a very hostile environment to me.
so what did she say then?
Well, she said that you've changed.
Oh, and Heather's like, oh, she's not the one that's changed. Gina's the one who's changed. And she goes, oh my God. She goes, you've changed. Oh my God, now I've changed. Yes, you've changed. So, of course, Emily tried it and she is being upstaged. And I have to say, by a slightly more interesting story. They're all grasping at this point, but I'm going with Heather's.
I loved Heather saying that Gina's changed because this is what Gina does. She turns on people. That's changing. And you know what? Like for a moment there, like there was that season where Heather was like, I just want to make things better. I want to know why you aren't calling me anymore. But now she's like, fuck it. It's nothing to do with me. You've changed. And so Emily's like, yeah, she was all about Katie. Katie was great. She wanted to bring Katie into this friend group. She loved Katie. And then you have a conversation with Heather, and then you're ready to throw Katie out the door. And they're like, yeah, I love that Heather is co-signing this. Heather's like, you turned against your friend who tried to tear me down so quickly that's actually really shitty of you.
No, that's Emily who said that.
No, but Heather agreed though. Heather, on the side, Heather was like, that's right. And I'm like, I thought that was so funny that Heather was like, even though it's like warped. Heather's like the victim of this, but she's like, yeah, you're shitty. Yes, she tried to bring up rumors about me, but you're the shitty one because you didn't have her back when she tried to ruin me.
Well, it's also selective rules because then we see the clip that Emily is listening to Gina totally turn on Katie and she's like fine with it and loving it until Emily's mad. Right. Now she's like, and then you turn on poor Katie. So Gina goes, well, I was disappointed in her. And Heather goes, how could you be disappointed with her? You knew what she was doing 6 months before she did it.
Yep. And Gina's like,
Yeah, but Heather, I promise you I thought she was a genuine good girl. I feel bad.
So
to you thought she was genuine to you. You knew she was plotting and planning this to bring this up against Heather for months.
Heather's like, let me take my hands and put them parallel on one side of the table. And when I make this point, I will lift them up, rotate, and put them down on a different part of the table. Okay? How could you be disappointed with her? You knew this was going on for 6 months, but I am your friend for years. You don't know this girl from Adam, and you meet her, and she gives you this bullshit information about me. Look, that affected my life.
Oh, yes, I'm sure. I'm sure your life is destroyed now. And Gina's like,
okay, but I'm looking at her a little bit differently, okay? Like before, I was looking at her as a girl who invented a golf ball shot who's going to have a lot of money. But now I look at her as a girl who's had a golf ball shot taken away from her and you still have more money. You understand? Does that make more sense?
It turns out the HD network actually has more upside than her golf ball shot. So I'm going to go back to your team.
More things we'd never hear another thing about. The HD network.
Yeah. So we cut back to dinner with the Big Bear Babes, and Tamara's like,
so I have to ask you, okay?
And Katie's like, okay, let's talk about it.
The paparazzi of it all? Like, because I'll admit, it sounded a little suspicious.
The golf event did not go how I wanted to go.
Oh, yeah. Gina hung you out to dry. Yeah.
Oh, I know. 2 nights before I went to Gina's house, we were trying on golf clothes. I gave everyone right, and she was like, look, I don't agree with everything you think, but this is your truth, these are your feelings, and I feel like you need to talk to Heather, or I will.
But did you feel like Gina hyped you up in this situation? That's what you need to say. Those are the code words. You hyped me up. You made me do it. Come on. You've seen the show before, right?
In the moment, no, just because I'm Katie and I'm incapable of being hyped up. But I look over at Gina defending her, and Heather goes, all of us agree this is not true, or whatever. And then I look over at Gina, and Gina just nods her head like, yeah, we all agree it's not true.
Yeah. And
and we see it.
Yeah, we see it happen. And Tamara's like,
Well, I question Gina's motives. She knows that Heather would not be happy about this. So what's she up to? What's she up to?
she was caught conspiring against Heather and sending this other girl after Heather and then got caught. That's exactly what happened.
Right. And Heather's basically like, you know what? Gina was so upset about the CPS thing at the reunion. You know, that Shannon made up a lie about CPS. She was so hurt about how it hurt her children. And now this paparazzi thing, this hurts my children. Okay. So
No, it doesn't.
we see.
Give me a fucking break.
Because it was tied up in like the affair, right? Like that they were staging these photos because there were rumors that Terry was having an affair. I think that's what she was getting at.
She's stretching.
But by the way,
this one.
agreed. It does not affect the kids. Don't care.
Oh, this is like, I mean, being on the Housewives, I would argue, is a bigger thing that affects your kids. Like, if you're going to do that, you're already affecting your kids. I think the paparazzi at Disneyland is okay. So she's like, well, it does trickle down to my family. It's trickle down paparazzics.
Paparonics.
Paparonics. My kids were calling me last year because their friends are asking them if we faked paparazzi. Max has anxiety. How is Max supposed to know? Like, the paparazzi really following Max, or did I ask them to follow Max? It's just so hurtful for my children.
My daughter, Max, is at Tufts University, about to become the next Chapel Rowan, who will also be my neighbor someday. And she has to deal with this. It's just unacceptable.
So Gina's like,
Shannon making up a rumor about CPS and my children is not comparable.
she didn't make up a rumor. She said that if you were taken away for drunk driving and there was no one, and you were taken to jail and there was no one to take care of your kid, that CPS would have come to get them. I don't think that was a rumor. I guess that's not a complimentary thing to say, and that Shannon sucks for doing it. But Gina's always overplaying it. Like, you've got such a limited hand as it is. You don't need to overplay it to this degree.
Right. And also, Gina is like one of the first people to be like, but my children. So let Heather play the children card too, because why not? So Jenny goes, you know what?
Children.
You don't trust
Listen,
me.
if I knew children were human shields, I would have had them a long time ago. The way the housewives use them. My God.
Careful the words you say. Children will listen from a faraway room because our house is so big. So Gina's like,
You don't trust me. That's what the issue is. Am I perfect? No. Am I wealthy? No. Did I do my hair nicely for my interviews this year? No. But am I allowed to make mistakes? Apparently, yes, because I make them every single year on this show. Okay? Apparently, but according to you, never. I'm never allowed to make a mistake. Ever.
Oh, yeah, Gina. After she fucks you over.
But no one's perfect. I'm sorry I'm not perfect.
I was just like, that's just bullshit.
But that's how I feel.
Oh, there she is again. She's using every trope that people who never take responsibility use. It's my children. That's one. The what? I'm not perfect. I'm not allowed to make mistakes. That's the other. And then the other is like, but I said it, but it's okay if it's wrong because it's how I feel. No.
And then Emily turns to Shannon and goes, well, I thought I was mad. I thought this was going to be my argument and my scene, but that's fine. You know, my intention was not to have a meaningful conversation with my best friend and then get derailed by Heather DeBro, but that's fine. She just wants to zoom in there and make it about her. You can have her. I was like, yeah, to be fair, Heather does it better though, so I'm okay with it.
Yeah, yours was dumb and Heather's was funny. Okay? You know, if you want people to pay attention, you need to say it hurt your children. Okay?
Yeah.
Are you new here? So Heather's like, there is a difference between making a mistake in judgment and a moment when there's just,
But that's what I did. I made a mistake in a moment.
just no. It went on forever, Gina. 6 months.
She's like, but I made a mistake in judgment in one moment. Like, it didn't went on for less than 24 hours.
No, I would like to say something. Katie said you didn't call her 10 minutes later. She said you called months later. She's like,
No, that's bullshit. I called her like the next day.
well, actually, I'm sorry, the flashback, we see in one moment Gina says, I called her like 10 minutes later. One moment, in one flashback, she says she called the next day or whatever. But Gina's like, the stories are not adding up. So I think that's important, okay? Because you told me you called her 10 minutes later. Do I have to lift up my hands from one side of the table and move them a little bit over to the other side of the table once again to prove my point?
she does do
You
that.
said she does. She's like a little forklift with her hands. She lifts them both up. Beep, beep, beep. You said 10 minutes, and it was not. She's
So
like,
what
pick
are
up
they
her
fighting
invisible
about
evidence.
now? She's saying Heather is saying, you knew about this 6 months ago that she was going to do this. And Gina's saying, no, I knew like 10 minutes before that she was going to do it. So,
meaning that, like, well, either way, it's like Gina is saying, Heather is saying, you had all this time to tell me that there was someone talking this shit about me, and you didn't. And you only told her to not bring it up months later, meaning like you entertained Katie. Like, you never shut it down with Katie right away. And so you let Katie sort of like go down this path for all this time. And then only suddenly had a reversal when you realized you were going to get in trouble.
Right. And we all know that that's a lie because we saw Gina telling her, you need to bring this up. You need to like totally bring this up with Heather. You need to talk about it. She wasn't saying like, that's insignificant and silly. You should never bring it up again.
Right.
Or go tell Heather, which is the only move to really make. Yeah,
well, she was like, you need to tell Heather, otherwise I'm going to. Meaning, like, if you don't tell her, I'm going to get in trouble, so I'm going to clear my name. Like, unless you want to be in super trouble, it was either way. It did not. None of it spoke to defending Heather as a friend. It spoke to saving her own ass.
Yeah. So then we cut back to the Big Bear ladies, and Jen's like, yeah, well, I was there, and Gina very much felt like you put her in a very tough position, Katie. It was really rough. It was, like, really hard. She said that you didn't pay the rent. She didn't know about it, and that she was almost kicked out. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in a different storyline. What were we talking about? Thank you for listening to me. This was fun having a line. And Alexis was like, wait a minute. How did she put her in a bad position? Talk about positions. I'm put in so many positions. Not one of them bad. Johnny J.
Jen was like, wait a minute. Gina knew it would not be funny. You got set up. You got set up, girl.
And Katie's like, you really believe that? You think she set me up? Katie goes, I can't actually figure out what Gina's motivation was for wanting me to talk about this, but Tamara's thoughts are pretty convincing.
So Heather's like, who's lying? You or Katie? Well, I'm not lying. Have I ever lied to you before? Listen, the accent's getting even thicker and crazier. That means I cannot be lying.
I called that girl up and I said, do not do this. And I don't care what Katie says. You're gonna believe that girl over me?
And Heather goes, well, you believed her over me, and I feel betrayed by you. And I'm having a really hold on, Stella Adler, this one's for you. I'm having a really hard time with it.
Why are you hitting yourself in the eyes with a hot dog?
They're very high in sodium. It's a trick I learned from Reba.
Hold on, let me apply this relish to my cheeks. Do they look like tears?
Am I crying?
Well, you're squirting mustard all over your face.
It really hurts.
I feel stabbed in the fucking back.
Gina's like, I understand that you're hurt, and I get that you're not going to get over it, and that's fine, but I need you to know that I'm really your friend, and I made a mistake, and I did something that perhaps I shouldn't have trusted. I trusted someone I shouldn't have trusted, and now I'm just like trying to sort that all out.
So Gina's saying, well, Katie has a different timeline because she's lying, which, I mean, I know I'm confused on this, but no, she's not, because she said that she told you all this around Sutton's party, which was a long time ago.
Yeah. And Katie's like, why would I just come into this group just lying? Why would I just start a lie,
Yeah.
So, yeah, the big issue, I think the issue is also that, like, if Gina had called up Katie 10 minutes later and said, you know what, don't ever bring that up, it would have been a way of just like squashing it. It never would have been brought up. And I think Katie even says, like, yeah, if it was 10 minutes, I don't know if she says it, but like the idea is that like this is just not something that Gina squashed right away, and she let it breathe and have air. And
so Katie's like, it wasn't 10 months. It was months. And Gina's like,
no, it wasn't a month. And by the way, I don't know, because I'm not Alexis. I don't bring bank statements.
Yeah, it's called receipts though. So maybe you should,
Yeah.
So then Big Bear Babes are at dinner. And so they're leaving. And Tamara's like,
well, that was fun, guys. Tonight we're going to put Jen on OnlyFans because she's broke.
And we go back to
broke, you guys.
The La Quinta ladies, and Heather goes, I'll tell you what. I'm going to believe you, Gina, and I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. And I'm going to try to move past this. And if you ever come for me and my family...
Oh, here she goes again. Okay, we've all seen this part before.
So then she's like, I don't need a big apology. I need a big house. Are we done here?
And I never want to hear the word paparazzi ever again. Unless, of course, they're gathering at my front gates to take a picture of Drake's house, who I live next to.
So she's like, well, I guess, Gina's like, well, I guess I'm just pissing everybody off today. And Shannon goes, well, you're not upsetting me. Actually, I just ruined your friendship. That was kind of fun for me. So this was like emotional tiramisu. So thank you.
Speaking of which, I do have some emotional tears in me because I'm being sued. So, well.
So then the Big Bear ladies are back, and then they do this whole thing where they pull out a pie, and Jen sticks her toes in it for OnlyFans. It's very similar to what we saw on Vanderpump Rules that one time. And then she's
you're not only stealing a sad storyline from Vanderpump Rules. It was like the saddest story. It was the saddest year ever on Vanderpump Rules. Like nothing happened, and you guys are going to try and take the foot storyline from that. It's just so Tamara, and it's so sad. While they're sitting around in wacky costumes, this was fun. Bye. So she puts her foot full of pie in Tamara's mouth in a bear costume, and I think it sums up a lot.
Yeah, so Alexis joins in and she pretends like she's grossed out. And Tam's like, don't be a prude. Don't be a prude. And Jen goes, yeah, you're banging 4 times over there. And Katie goes, yeah, your vag needs a break tonight. It's good that you're here. And Alexis is like, me and Johnny J, yeah, we do have sex all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, but I heard that Johnny J has a big wiener, gigantic.
And Alexis is like, do not bring up the S word. Which wiener is not an S word, by the way, just in case anybody's...
Swords? So then Jen is, she's like, so Alexis, like, when do you stop the fight with Shannon? He goes, I don't know, like, when she stops, honey, okay? Because this is like fun time Lexi, good time Lexi, okay? She just wants to have good times, okay? So, like, stop, keep my man's name out of your mouth, Shannon, and then I can have some fun times.
Right, but like you're on a hell path. I'm sorry, but you are. I'm sorry. Thank you for listening to me, though. That was great to say it. She's like, oh yeah? Well, if she wasn't making lies about him, I wouldn't be on a hell path. Should I use it right in a sentence?
I get like really worked up about Johnny J because like the man is nothing but kind, generous, loving, and caring. And unfortunately, Shannon has ruined John's reputation throughout the entire community.
Oh, okay.
It was Shannon's fault, I'm sure.
Yes. So she says that if the girls just gave Johnny J a chance, they would see him. And she's like, my mother passed away and John was the only one by my side. Oh, yeah, I'm sure she would be real proud at how you're acting, trying to drag a woman through the mud, sue her twice, and ruin her fucking life. Little idiot.
He has not a bad bone in his body, just a big one.
Oh, my God.
Girls.
I just brought up the S word.
So Jen's like, so do you think you're going to stop her? Well, do I need to pull out the videos? Because Johnny's ready to talk. Okay, Johnny's ready to talk.
Johnny's ready to talk. I love that it's like
Johnny's
this national murder story, you know? Guys.
I know.
He's ready to talk.
So yeah, I will stop her. I will. Johnny's going to talk. He's going to talk. And
so they're like, what does that mean? And she says, he's got videos. And they're like, what? Videos of what? She goes, a lot. It will ruin her life. And Tamara's like,
okay, she won't get to the point, but they have videos of the night of the DUI of Shannon. They're hilarious. It's so good. It's so good. Get away.
Can Shannon's life be ruined at this point? I think it's like she's been at rock bottom for a solid like 7 or 8 years now. So I think it's just
them just so joyous over this is just so gross. It's just too much. It's too gross. They push it too far, you know?
It's really backfiring for them. And so Alexis
Tamara's making a whole tour of trying to make everything sound like,
well, I didn't mean it that way. It's just because I love dear old Shannon.
Like, nice try, but it's every week this crap.
Yeah, Tamara kind of backfired. She's usually really good at choosing which person to turn on, but she's really kind of missed the mark this season. So Alexis is like, these videos are definitely horrific. And like, once I saw them, like I couldn't go back to feeling the same way about her. She has now pushed us to the point where if she doesn't stop lying, you're going to expose it? Yeah, we're going to expose it.
And Jen's like,
wow, I mean, where's she even going? Like, what do these videos matter? Why does anyone need to see them? Does anyone take account what this is going to do to Shannon, her family? I mean, in my opinion, this is wrong. That's just it. And my opinion is worth at least 2 cents. Oh my God. Can somebody multiply by that by like
How many opinions
100,000.
do I have to give to pay rent? Alexis is like, it's 10 times worse than you can even imagine. 10 times worse.
And I've said prayers for her because I'm very, very Christian. So I hope you guys are getting that from all of this. Can't wait to ruin that bitch's life. Disgusting. You're disgusting. Glad you're having
a good
fun
episode.
with your final nail in the coffin season on TV because you will never work again. Not because you're a vile person, but because you're just so boring at it. You're vile and you're boring. Goodbye.
I don't know. I think she's pretty funny. I think she's like hilariously awful. Like she sucks, but she's like
She hasn't
hilariously
made me
awful to
laugh
me.
one time. I don't think she's done one single thing that's been funny. She's just cringe and sad.
No, well, she hasn't done anything like intentionally, but I'm just like laughing at her because she's just so ridiculous. But I think she's good as I think her capacity as a friend of, like, that's as much Alexis as I need. So anyway, we've been talking for 2 hours. We don't need to start
That's crazy.
talking about Alexis Bellino, but this was a hilarious episode. I loved it so much. Thank you everyone for listening. Thanks everyone for being here. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend. And we'll be back next week with some Love Island reunion, as well as our normal slate of stuff and maybe some other stuff. Who knows? Catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
Stroll in the park with Caitlin Clark.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Itchels. Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas.
She's never scary. It's the Green Fairy.
Jamie, she has no last namey.
Hava Nagila Weber. Know your worth with Jason Kurth.
Sip some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's always supplying, it's Kelly Ryan.
Kristen the Piston Anderson. Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino. We want to hang with Liz Lang. Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg.
The Bay Area Betches. Betches.
And our super premium sponsors.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall. We got our wish, it's Jen Plish. She's not harsh, she's Jill Hirsch. She's a little bit loony. Junie. My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo. We love him madly, it's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender. The incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Give him hell, Miss Noel.
Ring that bell for Rachel.
She's the queen bee, it's Sarah Lemke. Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.